All right, what is up, everyone? Can you guys hear me okay? It's been a while. What's up, Flip Coins? What's up, Metal, Slava, Crypto Meolysis in the house? He says confused, lol. We got Ibrahim. Who else did I see here earlier? Julian. Yeah, so what's going on? We going to the moon? We got 6 people here. We'll kind of give it a minute for more people to show up. I think we're good. I think we're live. Let me double check everything. Music's good, volume's good. Looks good on my end. So how you guys been doing? It's been over 2 weeks, I think, since I streamed last. What's up, Roger, my man? How you doing? Roger's in the house. Let's see. Yeah, okay. Not sure how long the stream's gonna be, but we're here. We got Bitcoin finally pumping. Got that bullish divergence about to play out. Yeah, we'll get into it in just a moment here. Yeah, with the holidays and work and everything, that's why I didn't stream for a couple of weeks. Just too busy. Yeah, where's everyone at? It says 7 people here, but no one's chatting. What's up, dude? I wanted to average down CTX, but waited. Had a 50% pump. Oh well. Did it pump for real? Yeah, we're getting a nice little bounce on a lot of coins right now. If I'm not mistaken, didn't even Ben Cohen confused? He doesn't know what's happening either. There is no bear market. We're going to the moon. Everyone pack your bags. I'm about to blast out of here. Yeah, CTX had a nice little pump, but it did put in a new low. Still bearish. So let me see. Let me get that off. Oh, I guess we need to pull that up. So still technically macro bearish on CTX. Oh, what did I do with it? But yeah, how you guys doing? How's everyone's holiday? Hope you guys had a good time. So let's just get into it here. So CTX, yeah, it had a little bit of a pump. And it's already getting stuck. Oh yeah, came right up to the 236. That's why he got stuck. So it's key that these coins break over these levels if we're going to have any sort of a run. Because you can see from the high to the low, these are monthly candles. Came up to this $1.10 area, 236, first resistance, smacked right into it, and that's it. So it has to break over that, and then 157 to be bullish. Eventually over our box here to be macro bullish. But yeah, stuck at the first resistance. Let's see, just holding everything. Yeah, that's all you can do at this point. What's up, Mr. 407? What's up, Lincoln? Anything on Lunk? I haven't looked at Lunk in a while. Yeah, I mean, it remains to be seen if we're going to keep pumping here. The one thing I'm looking at right now, which I'm not in the market, but Bitcoin's kind of, it's still pumping, but it's not moving. And there's a lot of hype surrounding the meme coins right now. Okay, let me put Lunk and Jasmy on the list. Lunk and Jasmy. Yeah, someone let me know if the sound's okay. You guys can't hear the fan too loud. I do have a fan on. They're hoping Jasmy takes off again. Man, I know the feeling. I was in Toshi with 2 grand and I lost it all. So you're in GFI and CTX. Yeah, I hope it makes you some money, my man, because it's no fun being broke. All right, we did CTX. So right now, all you got to watch on CTX is it has to get over the 236 to have any form of life in it. All right, Luna Classic. Where's our lump chart? Lump to the moon. Luna, Luna, Luna. All right, yeah, the sound's on. Yeah, what happened to our lump chart? Oh, there it is. But yeah, if my voice is kind of off, I do have a toothache going on at the moment, and I do have some sort of a cold or something. Sore throat, runny nose. But we're pushing through. Yeah, Luna Classic had a pump from the high to the new low, 382. It is good that you're holding over the 236 here, so it is holding over support. So it is alive. This green box pretty much getting back over the 382 on Lunk is where this thing's going to be bullish. So we'll just get the box off. That was just a macro point of support and resistance to look at and volume. So over the 382 at 407 is what you got to get over. But it is positive that you're holding over the 236. We have seen coins in the past that hold over the 236 after dying, and then they'll hold for a minute and then they'll just blast out of here. So hopefully that's the case for Luna Classic here. Let me pull this over. And as for alt season and where these coins can end up, that's the confusing part. No one knows at this point. If we get some sort of super cycle or run, if it's actually going to have some sort of a little bull run. So I would look at the 786 at 3033. I would get you a decent 8x from here. And the way the market is these days, if you get an 8x or so, just get your profit and run. Go on to the next. But it is holding over the first resistance, so that is good. Yeah, it's 110. 110, my man. That's your first resistance to get over. So it needs to do what Luna Classic here did. Push through and hold. Especially on a monthly candle here. Weekly candles are holding, so it looks good on the macro. That's what you want to see on CTX. It needs to get some larger candles, weekly candles, to stay over that level and hold. Which, let me backtrack to it for just a moment. We didn't look at the weekly, I don't think. Let's see if there's a weekly candle that's already holding over. For Cryptic Finance. No, it's still bearish. So you got to get a weekly candle up over that 110 level. And if Abraham's still here, I still have AMP on the something about 10 cents on AMP. Can it go to 10 cents? Probably not. If that's what you're asking. I mean, it's not in a bad spot. I put in a macro high or low. But the stock R size in the bottom, until you get pumped up back into here over 50, it's still bearish. So on AMP, 10 cents is probably a pipe dream, never going to happen. So if it holds here, it has to pump and get over 204, and then that is a 90% move almost, 85% move. And then the 382 at 0078 to be bullish on the macro scale for a possible pump up to these levels at the 618. So 618 retracement from here is a 10x. So if it comes up to 2 pennies, that's probably your point to take profit on AMP if it can go that high, which it might. Oh, and one more thing. So I don't have to keep recovering these coins. You guys would just have to rewind if you want to see something else on it. We'll just do the shorter term, even though these are monthly candles here. It's the same thing on the weekly, just a little more zoomed out. So 0028 is the big price to beat right now. And then, of course, short term over the 382-236 area, then you're bullish. At least short term to pump up to that 382 on the macro. But it did put in a higher low. Volume decreased. RSI reset, so could be the bottom. And then Jasmy, I haven't looked at Jasmy. Jasmy, yeah, ignore the bell, everyone. Ignore the bell. It's only bullish. Oh yeah, we were looking at Jasmy down here, my man. That's right. We do have this macro area here that we were watching. It's just a visual pretty much of macro support. We blew through it. It was support again. After it was resistance forever. And we're at that point again. So it is resistance at this area again. If we can bring this up. But we did draw this, what is this, megaphone pattern, whatever you want to call this pattern here. She is getting a little move up. I think I went over this last time with you. Short term, let's see where Jasmy's hitting. So if it ends up breaking downtrend, which it looks like it may have, it's right at the 236, my man. Let's pull our downtrend down. Right at the down. Come on, Jasmy. Jasmy's right there. It's right at resistance. The downtrend in the 236. So it's a must-beat price right now is 2074. And then bullish over 9. So it's crucial that it pushes through resistance here, or it's going to just get stuck again and pull all the way back down. But it is having a decent little run. So the 3-day is bullish. Weekly's flipping bullish. So we'll just have to watch and see if it can break this level. If it breaks this downtrend and breaks this level and holds over 7.4, then there's a good chance it's going to finally break to the upside. So hopefully it does. So with that said, zooming out back to the monthly on Jasmy. If it's going to go back to the megaphone pattern, then if we're going to have a run, like I keep saying, this could be your target for Jasmy, which I do believe Jasmy's going to pump pretty good once it finally runs. So we're looking to move back up to the top here. So anywhere from 12... Yeah. Anywhere from 12. So that's what we're gonna look for on Jasmy for you, my man. All right, let me catch up here. Lemon says Toshi XRP breaks 235. It's going to 245. All right, let me write Toshi down. Yeah, I saw Toshi had a little pump. Okay, Toshi. Still got a couple we got to go over. What's up, Cha, my man? You bought SPA before it pumped. GFI is the same as CTX, goes back to 40 cents, my average. Taking my money out and throwing it back into CTX. As long as you got a game plan. I don't know. I mean, we keep readjusting all the time, so you can clearly see this pattern here is in play. It just has to break those key levels on Jasmy. All right, I got those other coins wrote down. What did you say, my man? SPA? Did SPA pump? SPA from my man. Yeah, my man here gets free TA for life. He's a member and he gave a big donation back in the day that I lost. Cha's the man. Cha's gonna make it. He's a good one. Let me move the volume off the chart. Yeah, you're getting a bullish cross on the monthly stock RSI. It did have a little rally. We'll quickly draw from the high here to the low. It's not really hitting anything yet. You know, depending on what time frame we go on first. You know what? Let me just zoom in. Let me get the best possible look we can. Let's go to the daily chart. So I imagine it's got to be getting stuck somewhere. So the high after previous low. Yeah, you hit the 382. So these are daily candles. So short term, as long as it's over this 4-5, it's alive. It looks like it did break the downtrend, so that's a positive. It needs to get over the 382 at 5.3, but it is getting stuck. So break over 5.3, you're bullish, and that should send you up to 6. So hopefully this is it. Hopefully we're finally going up. It's a 30% move. Not great, but not bad. And then let me do this. Yeah, on the 4 hour it doesn't look good. Looks like the top is in for now on the 4 hour. So we've been learning over the last months. If you make profit on something on a little pump, just get out, because it's always over. So short term, as long as you're over 4.9, it's still bullish. 4.9 down to 4.6. So that candle there looks like a top is in for now, at least. That's not too bad of a drawdown. So if it drops 10% and he's still at 4.6, and it's still bullish. Excuse me, I gotta wipe my nose again. Give me a minute. Alright. But yeah, it's the same as these other coins, putting in a slightly macro higher low. If your coin made a lower low on the macro, then it could be done. I think Wi-Fi just did that, so Wi-Fi could be done. I don't know. But hopefully the bottom is in on SPA. And then what was the other coin? Yeah, but everyone answer the poll, hit the like button. I'm going to try my best to stream every day, no matter what. So we got that to look forward to. And hopefully this is it. Hopefully it's time to go. Alright, XCN and Toshi really quick. Jazz me to the moon. He left us brutally. No, I didn't, my man. And nothing happened. We're in the same spot. We're even up a little bit. I wasn't here for 2 weeks and nothing happened. Because I was looking at the charts today and I was like, man, I haven't been here in a while and nothing happened. Bitcoin started to pump a little bit. That's why we're getting some of these coins to get a little relief. But ultimately, we're in the same spot, my man. We haven't moved. I still think we're macro bullish. All right, let me look at XCN. But I was looking. You guys see all the things coming in on Pepe, and these meme coins are starting to wake up. Pepe broke key resistance, and the volume is still increasing. It's trending on social everywhere. That's the same thing that happened last time before it went. So just want you guys to be aware that these meme coins, Bonk and Pepe, they got all the eyes are on them right now. Not saying to buy in, but I'm just letting you guys know, Bonk and Pepe, they had a little pump, and they're starting to trend. The people are about to pile into the Pepe. Pepe's about to blast to the moon. Pepe and Bonk and Mog and Popcat, all those coins are about to run, I think. We'll try to look at some of them, hopefully. Yeah, XCN also had a little decent run. Not bad. She's waking up. Finally. Still in a downtrend, technically, so we're going to pull this up to the wicks and the candle. So it is over the 3.2, so as we know, macro-wise, over 5.9, it's bullish, but it has to break over 1.1, pretty much. But it is still in that nice falling wedge macro pattern, but it is still getting stuck. So we'll zoom into the weekly and just simply draw a high to the low. Just give me a moment. I got to check my phone. So it is trying to stay over the 3.2 at the moment. Let me get this more accurate. It'd be nice to have another XCN monster run. So if we could stay over 8.4 or 8.5 really, stay over the 382, then you possibly have a chance at breaking this downtrend. Yeah, we'll just leave it at that. I mean, until it clearly has the downtrend broken, which it's trying right now, it could be setting up for a decent run. And we're still looking for about 10 cents on. Was it 10 cents? Yeah. Well, we got our box up there. 17 to 25 cents, I guess, is our XCN price. If you guys know, if we have an actual alt season run, there's no guarantee it's going to come up here and do a 20 to almost a 30x. If we go from this high to the low, that takes you up to 4.5 to 5 cent could be a target. So if it does have a breakout from this wedge, then if it does a 5, because it already did a massive run, if it does another 5, 6x, then depending on where you bought in, of course, maybe it's time to get out. Oh yeah, I got to look at XRP too. Turbo and XRP, let me write those down. I was looking at Turbo earlier. Turbo looks good. Cookie looks good. Yeah, I saw XRP was pumping. XRP is another one that that every time the volume comes in and spikes up and keeps going up, and it starts trending everywhere, and all the big influencers start to talk about it, that's when it has a good run. So XRP could be getting ready to take off, but I really think Pepe is about to blast out of here, along with Bonk. Okay, let me look at XRP really quick. You said 245 on XRP. XRP is at 233. Yeah, she's over the 382. And it also depends on where you draw this at. I saw some people drawing with excluding that large wick that came down. And when you do that on some of these charts, it shows a different picture. Like here, if we ignore this wick and we go from the high to the low, you're stuck right at the 382 at around 235, 234. So that's what a lot of people are talking about. So on this one here, it's at the 382, so it is at resistance to be bullish. So it needs to get over this 234, 235 range. And if it breaks over that, then you should have a decent run. But like I said, they're starting to pile into these coins. But if it can get over this 382 here and hold, and it's very bullish. It could spike up another 20% to 278. So 255, yeah, and then 278 on XRP. But it is at resistance right now. Oh yeah, resistance and the downtrend is in play. So yet another coin that's at resistance. So it's make or break time on some of these coins. They got to break out here. I saw Toshi was pumping also. But the fact that Pepe did such a decent little run already this month, and some of these other coins are waking up. Mog usually follows Pepe. Man, I wish I had some money. I'd get into Pepe right now. Let Pepe blast out of here, because when Pepe is going to go, it's going to just blast out of here. There's going to be no warning. And we're already seeing the signs of people potentially piling in if it holds up. And then just let Pepe blast out of here and then roll over into Mog, because Mog usually follows right after. And maybe something like Popcat or Ponky. Not a bad plan. But yeah, since the last time we looked at Toshi, it looks like our little wedge or our continuation pattern played out. It did hold the support. It held the higher low. So it is stuck. So what I'll do is I'll zoom in for you. Short term and then short term. So we'll go from there. So depending on where you want to label this as. Yeah, from that high to the low from the pattern, it hit the 618 and got stuck, so it's still bearish. Oh yeah, and you're hitting the 236 on the larger, so it does have double that it's getting stuck at. And then what was the other one? Turbo. Yeah, you still got a million XCN. Let me see. But yeah, Turbo and Cookie and Bonk, they didn't switch. They're in the same spot from before, which is surprising. Yeah, and you can see on the smaller time frames on Turbo here, it does have the W pattern on the higher low. Not looking bad. We've been watching Turbo for a while now. So zooming out on our Turbo chart, still holding in our channel. Turbo looks good here. I don't think you can go wrong, especially if Pepe's waking up and they're about to pile into Pepe. A lot of these meme coins are going to blast out of here. So we already got Turbo on the move. It's holding over the 618 and never did make it down. As we said last time, if you guys remember, if it came down to this 9.7 area with a wick, then that would be the best time to buy in, but it didn't do that. So we're watching it every day, every week, even though sometimes we take a break, but just be careful. I'm bullish on it, but I do have to point out both sides, just like we did with Toshi. You do have a macro continuation pattern to the downside here, so it must hold over this 1.8 area. That's if we're going to be bearish. But we're going to look at something on Bitcoin in just a moment that's going to get you bullish. But what was I doing? Alright, just zoom out. But yeah, Turbo from where we are now, I think it's going to come up here to the top of the channel once again at some point. Even if it's in late 2026, I don't know. As you can see, we've been consolidating for what, 3 months now, 4 months almost, doing nothing. Like I said, I wasn't on the computer for 2 weeks and nothing happened. We're in the same spot. But as you can see here, pretty much a 30x to the top here, to the 1272, around 6 pennies, is definitely where Turbo can end up. If you believe in Turbo and you think it's going to have a run, then why would it not come back to the top of the channel once again? And if you want to be way conservative with Turbo and get out at I guess a conservative price, maybe way before that would be 3 pennies. So 3 to 6 pennies is a very good area for Turbo. All right, let me get back to the chat for just a moment. How do I feel about VAR Network? It's going to 0. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Pepe did a nice move and it's holding, and the volume's still increasing, and it's still trending on TikTok and Twitter, and I mean the social sentiment is going up right now. So all eyes are turning to Pepe at the moment. And that's the same exact thing that happened last time. Before Pepe had a good run, it had a decent little move, the sentiment went up, the volume increased, and it just blasted out of here. People just piled into it. And the fact that Bitcoin just pumped back up a little bit, some coins are pumping, so we may get some money rolling into the meme coins very soon. So if Pepe holds, it's very bullish. What's up, David? What's up, Brock? Nah, we didn't do ZBCN yet. You sure we're not getting a relief rally before going lower? It could be. We'll see. But no one knows. Only time will tell. But let me go ahead and write that down. We'll look at Bitcoin in just a moment because I'm getting behind again. ZBCN. If you guys really want me to look at something, just have patience or super chat it. Super chats have been dead. But it does help if you guys hit the like button, subscribe if you're not, and answer the poll. Okay, we did XCN, we did Toshi, we did Turbo. But yeah, the buzz is bonking Pepe out right now, so we'll see what happens. Bonking Pepe to the moon. ACH. What is ACH doing? I forgot about ACH. Yeah, we didn't do ZBCN. Oh, we got 22 people in here. What's up? Yeah, when we zoom out on the macro, it's... I mean, short term, people are bearish. Even with what we're looking at here. You know, even if Turbo is in a little continuation pattern down and we drop again, these are bigger candles, so it could easily another month or two just sit here and do nothing and drop down here a little bit, and then we go up. So we'll see. All right, let me go ahead and look at Bitcoin really quick before we get into these other coins. I know it's confusing here, but we went over this in the last stream, which was 2 weeks ago. But this is what I want you guys to see. I know a lot of people were calling for bear market already. And I know a lot of people were saying relief rally, and then we're going down to zero. It's a bear market already. Let it be the case. I don't care. Because looking at the macro Bitcoin chart here, we do have the bullish hidden divergence, higher high, or higher low, lower low on the stock RSI, and we're hitting it and we're starting to bounce here. Last time we did that, we bounced up from the low and we made that new high. That was here. That's when we crossed again. We were bearish. So we're getting a bounce down here. Not quite time yet, but we're moving. But if it does like it did this time or what other time, all it needs to do is bounce and start moving up, and the price is going to continue to rally. And then you can see we do have this channel to the upside. So we were in the same spot here. And it looks macro bullish in my opinion. I think we're going to get a higher high, and I think that's going to be 140K, possibly. So since they're calling for just a little rally and then it's over, I think from this point here, Bitcoin's pushing over 91. It needs to get over this 382 here at about 96. If you can see that. And then break out over the 618 at 106. So 103 to 106, this thing's extremely bullish. But you can see back to the top here, that would take us potentially up for a Bitcoin new high, and then it's over. If it's not going to 200K, 143K, and then it's over. So that would be your relief rally to suck up some coins, get our money back, and then get out of here. So if we can at least get 140, 143K Bitcoin, then I think a lot of us will be okay. Not extremely happy, but we'll be okay. But we are finally back over after bouncing off the 786, back over the 618, so 91.2 is the price to hold. As long as we're over 83.5, we're alive. The moment we break that, it's over. So then the fact that we're back over the 618 here, you could probably say it needs to hold. It needs to stay over 91.2. It doesn't need to drop back down again. There's no time. But it is macro bullish in my opinion, so I'm not worried at the moment. And like I said, we're still in the same spot we were 6 months ago. We're not doing anything. It's just short term, people opening their mouth and yapping. It's bearish all the time. Bear market. But you guys know we've been bullish forever here. All you got to do is zoom out and we're still bullish. We're at 94.2 at the moment. So the next resistance for Bitcoin, in my opinion, is 97.1. And then if we break over 103, this thing's bullish. But I do like the macro bullish divergence. I mean, it's doing the same thing it did last time. Came down here, bounced, and it did the same thing. It put in a higher low, and then a lower low on the stock RSI for hidden divergence once again, and then we had that rally. And it's doing the same thing again. And we're starting to finally go sideways instead of down. So once we start moving up, it's too late. So on the macro, in my opinion, it looks good on Bitcoin. And I'm the least person that should be bullish on crypto because I've lost money every time I've gotten in. And you guys know that every time. So yeah, I saw ZBCN was starting to break down a little bit. Looking on the monthly macro, you are stuck at the 382 right now at resistance, but we are back over our green box. But one more thing on the monthly macro. On this macro chart, it doesn't look bad. It looks like XCN. So simply a pump to the upside, a large move, falling wedge, bull flag, whatever you want to call this. This is a bullish pattern here. So I guess it is a falling wedge. All right, so there we go. And it's at resistance, downtrend 382. So that is macro bullish for ZBCN. If we look on the weekly, we're back over our green box. So the big price to watch right now is 203. If it can break over that, it's bullish. But it has to get a weekly close over it. It'll be a good sign if you can get a 3-day close over it. But we're stuck. And I guess even a daily close would be a positive, 003. But more so if you get a weekly close over 003. And the stock RSI is starting to curl up on the monthly and the weekly. So ZBCN does not look bad here. Where was our target? Yeah, we've always said 10 cents on ZBCN. So if we actually have a bull run in alt season, ZBCN 10 cents up here to the top 4236 at pretty much 10 is a 33x from here. If you just want to get your money back and get out, and you never got out last time, if it hits a penny, maybe get out. It's not much of a move, but at least you'll get your money back. And then ACH. What is ACH up to? Oh yeah, we gotta look at Bonk and Pepe. ACH is back over whatever level this is. We haven't looked at ACH in forever, it seems like. Yeah, got a nice little bounce. I don't know what we're sitting over. Oh, we're trying to hold over the 618 once again. That is the low to the high 618. We did make a lower low on it, so we haven't been bullish on ACH in a while. So it just remains to be seen what's going to happen here. So 9 is a level to watch. And then very short term, we got to get over our box again, but we're just going to pull it here. We'll have to zoom in a little bit more also. But short term right now, if we can get this pump to continue, a penny and then a penny and a half to be bullish again. But it's going to be a very good positive note if it gets over this box here, over this line, at about 1.3. And then 1.5 it's bullish, breakout over 2.5. I mean, ultimately, if we just drew a box down here or a line, it's back down on the bottom. Well, if I could draw right. So if I draw this, and you just zoom out and look at it, it's just bouncing off of this area. So it could be the bottom for it. Stock RSI is trying to curl up on the monthly. Yeah, if I had the extra funds, I would buy ACH here. It's going to have some sort of a run. I don't know if 50 cents in play anymore. If it hits 10 cents, I think it's possible. That's a 10x, 11x. What did I miss? We got flip coins for 10. I appreciate that, my man. I appreciate that. Flip coins for the wins is Arrow, please. I forgot about Arrow. Oh, I forgot about Alien Base, too. How are these coins doing? Alright, got Arrow written down. Heard a lot of capitulation talk. Yeah, they've been saying that forever. Couple of YouTubers scream bearish, and then everyone just repeats it. It's like a bunch of seagulls. It's just bearish, bearish, bearish. Everyone just repeats it. And then someone throws a crumb in the air, and then we all go for it because we're bullish again. You guys ever been to the beach? The seagulls everywhere chirping away, and you just throw one piece of bread and they all freak out. That's how the market's going to be. One coin's going to pump, and they're all going to come flocking in. It's going to be chaos. We got DMV King for 20. I appreciate that, my man. Keeping the dream alive here. Can you take ACH, Toshi, ASM, and thoughts on XYO? I appreciate the 20, my man. Even though we did half of those coins already. ACH. For the 20, I will go over them once again. What did you say? ACH, Toshi, ASM, and XYO. Alright, I got you, my man. I appreciate the 20. Alright, we got to cover these 5 coins now, everyone. I appreciate the 20. That is awesome. Yeah, we all know. No one knows what's going to happen. What's up, Boulder? What's up, the how-to? Retracted your message. All right, let me look at Arrow. Yeah, is anyone out there seeing anything special on the meme coins, Bonk and Pepe? From my understanding, they're about to blast out of here soon, unless it just dies out again. Arrow had a decent little pump, starting off with the monthly candles here from the high to the low. It's stuck at the 382 once again. We'll zoom in here. This is just the macro fib on the chart for possible targets. So on the macro, 64 is the price to beat to pump. A new high, if you're looking to just get your money back and get out, would be the 1272 area at about 4. So $4 to $5 would be a 7 to 8x on Arrow, but it's not looking horrible. You could say it's in a very large wedge pattern, falling wedge pattern here. It's not a bad looking chart, but we do have our box here, our target. So we're still looking at anywhere from 18. Hold on, let me fix that. I don't know why that was down there. So anywhere from $20 to $35 is our target still. Still in a downtrend. You can see the 618 is in play down here. So break over 105, 618 would break the downtrend, and you'd be that move from the high to the low. That would be your breakout point confirmation over the 618 at 105, and then possibly a new high. Like I said, conservative down here, $4 to $5. But if you're on the high end, which I think Arrow can accomplish this, $20 to $35 is going to be a 32 to a 57x. Jeez. I'm just praying for a 10x if I ever get back in. You guys with your 50x's. Oh yeah, I gotta check my phone. Damn. Alright, so short term on Arrow. Yeah, not a bad look. Just about to pull an XE and blast out of here. So it is alive short term, high to the low. It broke over the 236 and it's holding at 55. As long as you're over 55, 64, 67, 68 is the price to beat. Break up those, you're bullish again. And then that should send you up to test the 786 area at about 119. So 105 to 119 would be an area to break. But once you've clearly broken the downtrend, it's very bullish. So short term 64 up to about 70 cents. If it can break over that. If you get over 70 cents on arrow, then it's bullish. But yeah, not looking bad. And yeah, keep in mind, relief rally could happen. We're getting this little pump again. Everyone's going to call this the relief rally. We're going to start dumping again, and then everyone's going to say, told you so. That was the rally, bear market, everyone get out. That's exactly what's going to happen. And then when you zoom out on the macro in the same spot, we never moved. We're just going sideways, and people are coming up with all these theories. All right, but once again on Toshi, where's our Toshi chart? Toshi did break down from our continuation pattern, but it did bounce on the 786, put in the macro higher low. Hold on. All right, I'm still here. So on the macro, you got to get over the 618 here. Oh, I hate looking at Toshi now. So I bought Toshi here. Was it October? It was one of these candles here. It was green, and then it just died. As soon as I bought in. Unfortunate. Alright, so from the high to the low, Toshi is smacking into the 236 at the moment. So it is at resistance. So the 618, 236, as you can see, is the resistance here. We're seeing a lot of coins do this, so some coins are breaking over the 236 and holding, so we'll see if this continues, but right now it has to get over 378. And then bullish once it gets over 46. So if it gets a 382 rally and it breaks over that level, then you could get another move up of about 27-28%. But until it gets over that 382, it's not macro bullish yet. But it is at resistance with a wick over. We've seen that many times, and then it's just done. So we will see how it plays out for Toshi. But as long as you're holding a higher low, stock RSI is trying to curl up here on the weekly and the monthly. Oh, no monthly, but the weekly. 3 days bullish. Volume's coming in, so that's nice. Volume's increasing on Toshi. So, not bad. I think the meme coins are about to run. They don't have to, but usually when you get a small rally in Bitcoin like it did, and then you have the volume and the sentiment coming into these meme coins, then they usually tend, when Bitcoin kind of cools off, they tend to just blast out of here. So just be aware of that. What was the other two? ASM and XYO. But at this point, Toshi, where's it going to run to, though? I mean, it died after I bought it, so let's see what our other... Well, I guess we can just move that one off of the chart. We'll just readjust every time we look at it. But if Toshi's going to have a massive run, as they say, macro high to the low, you're at the 236 also, so 37, 38 your price. 5.3 to be bullish. New high on Toshi. If it can break this 236, sometimes we see these coins break to 236 and they're just that, it's over, it's gone. So a new high up to 205 would be a 13x for Toshi. ASM, Assembly AI. It's still holding our yellow line. I don't even remember the last time we looked at it. Oh, it's still holding higher lows. Not bad. So that's really the only hope. I don't know if that's what we went over last time. It's in the same spot. It hasn't moved. When was the last time we looked at ASM? It hasn't moved an inch. Still bearish on the RSI. I mean, there's really nothing to say. Decrease in volume. We'll just have to see if this is it. I mean, there's nothing really holding it down here. It put in a higher low for the third time, so that's good on the macro. So the only thing I would say is just keep an eye on short-term price action, which would be, I guess, the weekly chart. It's going sideways here, so it's not bad looking. It's got that little bowl formation forming. So short term over 137, and then over 17 to 18 would be bullish again. As long as you don't make a lower low. If it makes a lower low, it's done. So this has to be the bottom. So on the macro, if you get a relief rally, should be a decent little move here. Yeah, 236 at 17 would be a 60% move almost. And then 177% move. So almost a 3x up to 2.8 just to still be bearish. So there's still hope for this one. And if it comes up to the 618 retracement at 6 pennies, 666, 6.5x, there's your profit. If it's going to the moon, so be it, 70 cents. If you believe in it, 65x. And then XYO, we haven't looked at in forever. Yeah, it looks the same, but it's not looking bad. Still putting in higher lows. Stock RSI still resetting. It's not bullish yet, but it's getting there. Alright, so I'm still here. XYO, we have this box here for a reason. It's probably a smaller retracement level to watch. But on the macro, as you can see for XYO, very good setup here. Higher highs, higher lows. RSI is resetting. It's a very bullish looking chart in my opinion. Same thing we did on these other coins. If you just simply draw the higher highs and the higher lows, then that potentially puts in play 4 pennies on this coin. So it put in a higher low, it's on the bottom. If it breaks over the 236006, bottom is in, macro over a penny, it's bullish. And then as you can see, if XYO is going to survive and have a run, then it's at least going to probably come up here, if not higher. So from here, a 7x, at least to 4. If we have a super cycle and we're actually bullish this year at some point, you know, it could come all the way up here, kind of consolidate and go higher. It just depends on what the market's going to do. But as you can see, a new high on this one would be 21 moonshot for a 36x. But you would have to imagine at least a higher high, so it'll probably spike above the 786 here. So you could be looking at a 10x move, up to about 6 pennies or so on XYO. But it's got a very bullish macro chart here. Not looking bad at all. And then I'll catch up on the chat in just a moment. Like, if we actually start flipping bullish on some of these coins, which we're getting a little pump, then it's going to be hard to cover all these coins. But yeah, short term, you're getting stuck at the 382. So the 382 got in play with a wick above, never a good sign. So if it can get and stay above 206, then you're in good shape. And you're bullish, and you just put in a higher high short term, so that is good. But you have to get over that 6 level. Okay. Someone is ringing the doorbell. Yeah. You'll make it, my man. I still think Jasmine's gonna pump. Most people are in the same boat. You either lost all your money or you're still holding and it's almost gone. I know the feeling. Yeah, Roger's got the idea. Chainlink. Chainlink's another one that's probably gonna run really hard. I think if you can make some money on Toshi and Pepe and some meme coins, maybe just buy Chainlink. Put it all in on Chainlink, because Chainlink's been consolidating for a very long time. Oh yeah, I know. People are losing all their money in crypto. Alright, but yeah, I gotta go get some medicine and stuff. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. But yeah, chat amongst yourselves. What did you say, Cookie Dow? Let me write that down. Cookie, Bonk, and Pepe. We've been on here for an hour already. Everyone hit the like button, answer the poll. I will be back in just a moment. Let's see. Yeah, Bitcoin's trying to cool off here. Alright, I'll be right back. All right, are we back? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see the screen? I think we're back. Someone let me know, please. Oh, come on. What's up, Metal? Are we back, my man? All right, I think I hear it. You guys probably heard me sneezing. All right, I think we're back because he said nice, relaxing song. We got 20 people still here, so that's good. What's up, Crypto Meowless? My man. No, I went to go get some medicine, and I came back and the internet was down. Wi-Fi went out. But I think we're back. All right, let me make sure we're good here. I don't know what my lovely planet is, but this thing's going to zero. I lost my word pad, so I don't remember what we were looking at. So we're just going to start fresh. See and hear you. All right, thanks, my man. Giga Chad. Yeah, Giga Chad's probably another one that's going to run. All right, I'm just double checking the sound. Got a different song on. Mic is good. Internet's up. We're back. Going to the moon. Oh yeah, Turbo and Pepe. Turbo and Pepe, Giga Chad. Let me look at Giga real quick. Yeah, my throat. I'm pretty sure you guys heard me sneezing when I was trying to get this thing back up and running. But I can't stop sneezing. My throat's getting very itchy. Hopefully it doesn't mess with live streaming all week. My eyes are watering. I gotta keep wiping them because I can't see the screen. Oh. So Giga Chad, either the bottom is in or it's going to zero. It looks like a bottom has been put in. Slightly higher low. Oh man, this sucks. With the W pattern. And then we're above the 382. So as long as you stay over 2048, it's bullish. Hit the 0.5 and got stuck. So it needs to stay over this 848 level to stay bullish. Breakout would be over 5.9. Over 5.9 should send you up to 007. But it's not a horrible looking setup here. 50% move just to be alive on the macro for Giga. Excuse me for all the noises. Giga Chad Moonshot would be the 1272, possibly 23, 24 to 25 cents would be a 46x from here. But conservative price would be just a 618 retracement, and a dud of a market would be a 5.5x to 2.5 pennies. Oh man. And then Bonk. Bonk had a nice little run. Like I said, the volume and sentiment on Bonk is ticking up. Pepe and Bonk may start blasting out of here soon. So Bonk to the top of the channel would be a 58x from here. It's holding over the 382 on the macro, excuse me. box, and then the smaller time frame. Depending on if we want to use the wick, which, like I said, a lot of people aren't using that wick. If you do not, high to the low, you are hitting the 236 on that one, and you're just above it. So we'll go on this one since we are on the larger candles. Let me see what it says on the smaller one. I don't know what to put this thing at. I can't think at the moment. So we'll leave it here. If it can hold over 401 and then 14, it can be bullish again. But like I said, bonk is starting to tick up in volume and social sentiment, so it could be getting ready to run. And you can see if we draw this on here from the high to the low, our box comes into play up the 2 area at 309, right at the top of that box. So you could get anywhere from a 58x up to an 85x. Very possible, especially when you zoom out on the macro for bonk here. Damn it. Damn, that medicine did not agree with whatever's going on. I feel worse now. And here we go with Pepe. Pepe's holding over the 382. Yet another coin on the smaller weekly time frame. You ignore that wick. This is what I've seen people talking about. If it holds over 6.5, it's very bullish. Oh yeah, we can't look at volume on this chart. But yeah, like I said, the same thing that happened last time before it had a large run is happening now. Nice solid move. It's trending all over the place. People are starting to pile in. Volume is ticking up. There's a very strong probability that Pepe is going to run from here. So as long as you hold over 6.5, 5065, this thing should get sent up to the 618. And if it breaks the 618 at 9.3, this thing's going to rocket out of here. All the way back to the top of the channel, up to 7.4. 10x plays and move is loading right now. Everyone pile into Pepe. It's about the 10x. Not financial advice. Just working. What's up, Harlem? Turbo, yeah. So Turbo is still bullish. Bonk is bullish. Yeah, I think we went over Turbo a couple of times already. These meme coins, I think, are about to rocket out of here. Shiba's getting ready to skyrocket. Yeah, I saw Shiba's moving too. Yeah, it may be finally time for the meme coins to start running again. And the big dogs. Even Elon woke up a little bit. So Elon, Shiba. We got Crypto Meowlysis. Welcome to the Horde, my man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that a lot. 17 months for me. Wowzers. Nice, my man. We got metal detecting for 17 months. I appreciate that. Just need to get everyone subscribed to the channel to become a member. What's up, Josh? Still bear market. People, please don't FOMO. Buy on Bitcoin and not financial advice. Yeah, everyone has their opinions. Well, I mean, we take it all the time, week to week. It's a waiting game. We're gonna see what happens. What's up, Adventure? Says hello. Everyone's screaming bear market, but it is what it is. No one knows what's going to happen. If it's a bear market, it's a bear market. We tried. This coin, it's got a little pump from zero. a little breath of life from the depths of the shadow realm here. This thing's very bearish. It could be the bottom in a pump, but there's nothing. There's just it's going down. You got to go look at their coins. If they're adding coins and the market cap's still going up and this thing's going to zero, it's crap. I don't even know what to say on this. Is it going to come up here in 200 and something X to a new high? No. It's a 300X to $38. It's going to come up here and do a 618 retracement to 190 if that's the bottom. Could. It's a 14.5, 15X. So if it does pump and it hits the 618 at 190, then it's probably the time to get out if that's the bottom. What I'll do is zoom into the daily chart here. And we'll just keep it simple, smaller time frame, smaller candles. We'll do 2 different ones. Let's see. So it's over the 236 short term. If it stays over 12 cents, bottom is in. Bullish if it gets over 13.3. If it gets over 13.3, then it has the possibility to try to break out over 15. If it breaks out over 15, then it could have a decent run, and the bottom would be in. Possibly 65% move to 21, and if you're very lucky, 2.5x to 32. But clearly it's in a massive downtrend, and it's extremely bearish, and you're at resistance. So the 382 is heavy resistance right now. Must break. Yeah, what time you streaming today, my man, Meolysis? You streaming in a little bit? I'm not going to be on here much longer. We've been on here for 82 minutes, and I'm starting to feel like crap. Do we need some more bullish music, or just this is relaxing? All right, AI tech, I forgot about that one. But yeah, Crypto Meolysis is going to stream tonight. You guys will check him out if you haven't already. Crypto Meolysis here has the same type of channel that I do. Does some good work. Oh man, AI tech. Would you say there should be a rule of the land? There should be a rule of the land. What does that mean? I don't know about these these newer coins. I don't know. Unless it's a big name newer coin. Like someone asked about VAR earlier. I forgot about that. Where's AI tech at? Solidus. I don't remember how to spell Solidus. It's been so long. Where the hell's our AI tech? I don't know where our chart went, people. Where the hell's our AI tech chart? I'm just going to have to make a new one, I guess. Oh, it had a little pump. Yeah, very bearish chart on AI tech. There's nothing bullish on it. It's getting stuck at the previous low from the wick, pretty much. come on. If you ignore the candle and you go from the wick, it's getting stuck again. So the only thing we can say on AI Tech is we'll go to the weekly. Short term to begin with. Yeah, we're going to end this in just a moment. I can barely see the screen. So short term, you're stuck at the 236. It has to get over 1.4 and then 1.9, or it's still extremely bearish. It can even come up to 3, up to the 618 and still be bearish. And still be in this long, massive downtrend. So it comes up to 3, it has to break or it's still bearish macro-wise. And then longer, if you think that's the bottom, macro 2 and then 4. Over 4, switch and dip to 10. If you get over 10, to the moon she will go. So a 618 retracement to 10 is not a bad move from here. It's an 8.5x. And then 120x to $1.50. Moonshot. Probably not going to happen. There should be a ruled crypto land. Every dollar you put into altcoin, you can also put in. Yeah, if that was the case, I would have a bunch of Bitcoin. That would be nice. I would actually have a bunch of Bitcoin sitting on the side, because I've lost so much money on altcoins and meme coins and shit coins. Like a lot of money over the years. And if that was set aside in a little Bitcoin wallet that you can't really... Yeah, yeah. Hell, if I had a nickel for every dollar I put into altcoins and other coins, I'd be okay. Or I'd be at least excited for something. Talking thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars lost over the years. And that's what gets me, because if we actually don't have alt season, it is a bear market, and we actually don't go up, then what's the point? I've said that many times over the last couple of months. If there is no alt season and we don't make money, then if I ever get back in the market, it's just going to be Bitcoin. And then other things, commodities. Because a lot of the coins are going to end up dying if they don't make people money. But I'm still a believer that we're going to have something happen here. Until certain levels break and we clearly see a breakdown, then we're okay. If it's a bear market, like I said, it's a bear market. But at this point, after losing everything, and you guys are holding your bags to zero still, I'm really hoping you guys make it out. At least get your money back. If you guys can get your money back, we'll reassess, and we'll probably just be like Crypto Mealysis and be a Bitcoin maxi next time for the bear market. We'll just listen to Father Ben, find the bottom on Bitcoin, buy in, and just hold. No more moonshots, just investment. Yeah, DGen's still holding over the higher low. The bottom, still bearish. Put in a lower low, it looks like. Oh, DGen. So not the greatest looking on DGen, but what are you going to do? So our macro box is still in play. It needs to get over this because that's your former macro support area. As you can see, if it breaks over that box and gets over the 382 at about 0023, 0024, then we could be in good shape and be bullish, at least short term. So this box is crucial to get over, and then breakout over 3.9. And then where are we getting stuck? 786. We're above the 618, that is. So short term, high to the low, as long as it's over the 6182014, you do have a possible breakout in play here. Next resistance is 156, and then if it breaks through that, macro resistance is at 17, and then we'll take a shot at our box area and getting over that macro 3-2. Momentum is up on the daily and starting to curl back, but it does still look good on the candles. It is putting in a higher low, so the big thing here is always market structure. Market structure has to be broken. So it's putting in lower lows, which is bearish, but it needs to break the lower highs. What is that? Okay, we already played that out. So it really needs to break over that 786 to confirm 15.6. And then, of course, break that high. But that's what you always want to look for, is market structure. As long as you're making lower highs, it's bearish. Lower highs and lower lows is always bearish. But you would have to think the bottom is in. You can't really go lower. If it does, then we'll just reassess and see what happens with it. Other than that, I don't know what else to say. But if you're holding out hope, 236 macro, 2.9, 382 bullish over 5.3, breakout to the moon over 1. And then from there, a massive move to a new high would be 20 cents at 130x. If you're still holding DGen. You think we'll eventually have alt season? Yeah, what's up, Demon, my man? Where you been? What's up, Cameron? I'm honestly thinking about going in on a final buy. Yeah, you should look into Chainlink. NFA, but Chainlink. Chainlink's been consolidating for a long time, and it's got a lot of good things going for it. It's an older coin. We saw Zcash and others go. Bitcoin Cash is probably going to go. So I think Chainlink is a solid play. But yeah, we're going to leave it at that. I see you mentioned Cookie, largest bag. What's up, a mill? Oh, Cookie's your largest bag. Yeah, Cookie's like Turbo and Bonk and these other coins. They're in these very large channels trading. What am I looking at, Cookie? I mean, it's not in a bad spot. It's got a very good setup. We do have two different charts for it, though, if I can find the other one. But yeah, we're about to end this here. Everyone answer the poll so I can end it. Hit the like button, and we'll try to stream tomorrow. Damn, I don't know where the other chart went. I know I have another chart for it. Where the hell's my cookie chart? I mean, it's on the bottom, high or low, over the 786, stuck at the 382. But your 382 is the key point to break. It has to get over 4.5. If it gets over 4.5, it's bullish up to at least the 618 at about 8. If it gets over 8, breaks the downtrend, then you can have an upside move. But the downtrend really has to break here. Like I said, market structure is key. You have to break the lower highs. But yeah, we're going to leave it at that. I appreciate all you guys coming in. I appreciate the super chats. And we'll leave it at that. Look for a stream tomorrow. I appreciate you guys. None of this is financial advice. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.